Hey, everybody.
You did it so well, and now the camera's on, and you're like, no, I don't want
Hey, everybody. Puppy. Maybe Venti should just do it. Hey, everybody. Just put the dog down.
No, he wants to dance.
Well, are we gonna do the intro?
He's dancing.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hey there, So these are my beautiful friends. This is Bella, and this is Candace, and they were just doing a fabulous intro for me and a little dog dancing. I think we need to give an update on the husband's job. What do y'all think?
Who farted?
Oh my gosh! Oh, blue! Oh,
Dancing puppy. That was bad.
That's no.
I have been feeling for a while now that I need to give you an update on my husband's job situation. There is a lot that I cannot give detail on, but I'm going to tell you what little bit I can. I think it's important that you get to see this side of things as well, and not just what is being shown in mainstream media. We're going to go back a little bit to that first protest back in like May, I believe it was. In his city, they had a huge protest. The way that the higher-ups handled it was, in my personal opinion, incredibly poor. They allowed, in the mayor's terms, they allowed people to blow off steam for far longer than they should have. And my thinking is criminal activity is not blowing off steam. And the actions that people were taking that were allowed to continue for hours were criminal acts. Kind of the beginning of the end for his career with that city. Morale was rough after that throughout the entire department. It still is, to be honest with you. Things just kind of got more and more toxic as we continued. And then about 3 months ago, one of the guys on my husband's squad was actually put on admin leave and has had criminal charges filed against him for one of the times that he deployed his dog. Everything was within policy. Everything was within the law. The handler did not act in a way that wasn't within policy. After that, slowly more and more handlers started getting put on leave until now. His entire squad with active patrol dogs have been put on leave for some time now. And there's potential of more criminal charges being filed. But here's the kicker in all of it. Not a single bite was not within policy. Their dogs are a tool, a work tool, just like their baton is, just like their gun is, just like a flashlight is. They are tools that they use to apprehend criminals. That's it. Every time the dog has been deployed, any of the dogs, they have gone through multiple levels of clearance, making sure it was within policy from multiple different branches of the department. And the reason that the highest in the department are claiming that they didn't know about it is because there wasn't an issue. There wasn't anything that needed to be reported. And it's kind of baffling, the ones that they are deciding are an issue. But to be honest with you, I think the biggest problem is that it doesn't look pretty. But any arrest doesn't look pretty. None of them do. When you're dealing with people who are on drugs to the point that a taser doesn't work, when you're dealing with people who are on drugs to the point that they don't feel pain and so hitting them with your baton does nothing, you're dealing with people who are completely out of their minds and delusional or just refusing to comply, no matter what tool you use to get them into custody, it's not pretty. So why has the bullseye landed on the canine squad? I don't know. What I do know is that my husband is a good man. He's a great officer. The other men on his squad that are also on leave right now are great men, and they are great officers that I've known for years. His sergeant is an incredibly great leader and a great man, and they're getting a crappy deal right now. They really are. My husband's situation specifically is different than the other guys on the squad, and let me explain that. My husband could see that things were getting more and more toxic, and he didn't want to stay in that environment. So he put in his application at another agency. He put in his application at 1 o'clock in the morning. By, I think it was like 11 o'clock the next morning, he had already gotten a phone call and had an interview scheduled. He had his interview, they did the background check, he had a job offer within 2.5 weeks. And getting a job offer that quickly from a police agency is nearly unheard of. It happened so quickly. Well, the day that he got his job offer for this new agency, he went ahead and put in his resignation with the city he's been working at for a while. We were really excited. We were ready to move on and get to this next step in life and be done with the riots and the protests in the huge city. However, 4 days after he put in his resignation, he was notified that he was now on admin leave as well, along with the rest of the K9 squad. So my husband said, okay, if I'm under investigation, then that's fine. Let me go ahead and rescind my resignation. I'll maintain my employment with you throughout this entire process, and then we'll move on from there. And he talked to the new agency, and they were willing to hold his spot, and everything was great. The city said no, that he is not able to rescind his resignation, but he's still under investigation. And so technically, he quit under poor circumstances. And for that reason, Post, who is the body who carries certifications for police officers throughout the state, has the option to come in and revoke all of his certifications. So we've had this weird like limbo of, is he still going to be able to be a police officer? Are they going to revoke his certifications? Are there going to be criminal charges? Where do we go next? What do we do now? He's worked really closely with the new agency. They have done their own internal investigation, watched the body cam footage, read all the reports, everything, and they have determined that they don't see anything wrong with any of my husband's actions on the cases that he is potentially being charged with. And he will be sworn in tomorrow, which is such a huge blessing. It's almost entirely unheard of for an agency to take on an officer and allow them to start while they're in the middle of an investigation. I can't even tell you how grateful I am for them and for their willingness to work with us and to recognize the situation and to look at the facts objectively and make a decision based on fact and nothing else. There's no feeling involved. It doesn't look pretty involved. There's no fluff involved. It's simply facts, and that's what they're going by, and it's incredible to see how supportive they have been. There's been a lot of twists and turns. As you know, we got our dog. We got Goose. He's ours. We did have a moment there where we weren't sure if Goose would be ours or not. We didn't know if the city was going to take him back. It was heartbreaking, just the thought of it. But we were able to get the paperwork for him. It's been difficult to be forced to recognize that I'm not in control. As much as we think we are and as much as we want to be, we're not in control. And that's okay. In fact, that's a good thing, because I think if we were in control and we always got what we thought was the best thing for us, we would miss out on so much. So many beautiful things that God has planned for us that we just wouldn't recognize otherwise. And I think there's so much beauty in that release of control and allowing God to work his plan in whatever way that he needs. There's still a lot of uncertainty. We still don't know if criminal charges will be filed, but I'm really excited to see where the future brings us. I honestly believe that this is all happening for very good reasons, and that it's going to be a beautiful future with this new, incredibly supportive department. This whole thing about not being in control and needing to completely trust in God, this is not my first time learning that lesson. If you guys have not already snagged your copy, In Pursuit of Motherhood by yours truly, it's available on Amazon right now. It's $14.99 for the hard copy, $3.99 for the ebook. This is going to help you to recognize those moments in your life. Such a beautiful plan in progress for you, and that no matter how dark and no matter how scary and no matter how hard it gets, there is light, there is hope. Keep pushing forward, and I promise it will be worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, everybody. That Otter Mama signing out.